in for the Metal Gods Meltdown, and today I'm joined by.
James from Hellripper. Thank you very much for having me, man. Much appreciated.
It's great to be chatting to you today. First question you've probably been asked all the fucking time. When's the next album coming out?
As soon as possible. I've got to finish it first, which has been, you know, it's taking a bit of time because I've been away so much touring and doing shows, and again, like for the rest of this year, we're basically away and stuff. So I'm getting stuff done in between, basically when I can, you know. So yeah, hopefully the ideal time would be late this year, early next year would be the ideal time and what I hope for. So if not, then yeah, don't blame me.
Or
It will be my fault.
maybe just a single, even, yeah. That'd
There
be
should be
cool.
a single out.
Yeah,
There should be a single out a while before that. I mean, that's up to that's label stuff. Like that'll be decided. You know, what the best way to release stuff is and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, that'll be released quite a while before the album. So hopefully this year there'll be a new single. Yeah, fingers crossed.
cool. I love the fact on the last album, Scottish folklore and legends are many, and it's an interesting subject. So, have you spent any nights at some of these places, like, for instance, Hermitage Castle up on the borders of Scotland? Just spent a night and just absorbed it.
I haven't, though I do live, I did move up to the Highlands. You know, I lived in Aberdeen, which is quite a big city, in like for Scottish standards. I lived there for like however long, like 24 years, 20, something like that. You know, I grew up there. And then I moved to the Highlands, um, just before, just before 2020. Um, and yeah, it like inspired me, you know, just being surrounded by all the landscapes and um just just being here, you know, like surrounded by mountains and just the general vibe of the place, kind of inspired me to the idea originally was to write maybe one or two songs, you know, kind of inspired by that type of stuff. But as I looked into things to write about and researched some things, there was just so much that I could that I could write about that I decided to, yeah, let's do like a an album with a theme, like a cohesive theme. I had never done that before, you know, or something that tied everything together. And yeah, it was cool. It was something different to kind of write about. You know, it's still kind of the same sort of topics, same sort of themes, I guess, as previous stuff, but filtered through like a Scottish lens. And it was kind of interesting to kind of put it, yeah, just kind of to do something a bit different, you know. And yeah, the next album will be uh following on with that, you know, just the Scottish themes because yeah, like I say, there was so much stuff that you can write about that there was like so much stuff that I hadn't managed to explore with the last album that I was like, yeah, let's do it again for the next album, get some cool stories, get some cool things in there. And yeah, yeah, it's something different.
So, what about plans for the year, tour and festival wise? I know you're going to Germany soon, aren't you? You're headlining in Essen, yeah?
Yeah, we're doing two shows in Germany next weekend. Then we head to the US for Hell's Heroes for our first appearance in the US the following week. Yeah, we've got so much, almost almost every weekend and up until the end of the year, basically, we've got stuff going on. We'll be doing a lot of stuff in summer, of course. In the UK, we've got a few things. There's Damnation Festival, um, Cosmic Vibration Festival, and the Bloodstock Winter Winter Gathering, which they just announced. I think this is the first edition, which should be cool. And yeah, it's just kind of carrying on doing festivals, doing kind of shows, like keeping like just keeping going really. In between recording the new album, and hopefully, yeah, maybe in summer or later this year we'll have one or two new songs to add to the set. which will be fun. You know, it's always fun uh, adding new stuff to the set, especially new material. So yeah, we're just keeping on.
Cool. All right. So, how do you approach live performances then? What's your goal when you hit the stage?
I mean, the goal really is simply just to put on a good performance, you know, and just give a good show. Um, and for us, or for Hellripper, for me personally, that usually means giving a high energy show, um, fast, full of energy, kind of running around. Hopefully, the audience kind of um, react in a similar way. You know, it's always good when there's like mosh pits going and people headbanging and uh, yeah, dancing, whatever. Yeah, it's always cool just to have try and get the energy going and try and give the crowd energy so that they can give us back energy. Um, but yeah, that's really it. That's the goal. I just want to give a good show. I hope people enjoy themselves, you know. I would say the live show up until now and currently, I look I look I look at it differently to like the studio side of things. It's more you know, the studio side of things is where I really like to kind of experiment with production. There's like layering, there's different guitars, there's loads of harmonies, there's layered vocals, there's kind of different vibes, atmospheres, kind of, well, that's what I've tried to like kind of convey, especially in the last album. You know, I like to just try stuff. Whereas the live aspect for me, it's more a rock and roll kind of, like I say, get out there, play fast, you know, just it's two guitars, bass, drums, vocals, you know, there's no um yeah, just yeah, we just it's rock and roll. It's like kind of yeah, it's kind of just a different way to approach it and it kind of yeah, because for me, I think what I look for in a live or what I enjoy most in a live setting is, you know, different to what I enjoy listening to at home uh, or whatever. So I try to kind of cover both bases with Hellripper. But yeah,
When you are playing live, how often do you have to like pinch yourself and you see the pits are up to the fans going berserk to your music? Do you sometimes have to like step back and say, "Oh, is this real? Is this happening?"
yeah, I mean, all the time, man. I mean, we didn't even. I when I originally started Hellripper, there was no goals of ever playing live. There was no yeah, that would never cross my mind. It was to be a solo project, just something I recorded at home for fun because I enjoyed it. There was no real goal of the band becoming like successful or whatever, you know. I mean, obviously you want that, but like I say, I was doing other stuff. I had like other bands that I was kind of focusing on, and so yeah, Hellripper was just like a side project at the time, and yeah, then it's gradually grown, and you know, yeah, it's crazy the stuff we get to do, the people I've met, the bands we've played with, the friends I've met, like labels we've worked with, bands we've worked with, that just meeting all these fans, you know, from all over the place, like just people that enjoy the music, you know, it's crazy. I like I say, as well as not aiming to play live previously, the idea was to record an EP, and the main goal was that maybe 10 people in my local scene in Aberdeen at the time would maybe hear it on YouTube and think, yeah, it's cool. I
Yeah.
like that. That was basically the goal, you know, and then to see the band kind of reach people all over the world and people that the music means uh, something to people. Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, yeah, I'm very grateful, and I'm very lucky that I get to do this for a living, and yeah, it's amazing, man. Like I appreciate everyone that supported the band, and yeah, it's gone way further than I ever thought, than I ever hoped, than I ever intended. So
Cool.
yeah, it's sick.
It's amazing. Okay, so I'm going to go on to goats now. Goats are important to you guys, and like your band and music, I googled this bit. They are strong and resilient. Is that a fair comment about Hellripper?
Um, I guess so. Um, yeah, let's say that. Yeah,
All right, and so have you got an actual goat's head? Like,
I don't.
you know, all right,
I don't know.
this is Basil, right? This is the sheep's head. I've had this years. It's so cool. That's off
I love it.
Adrian's wall, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I thought you might have a goat's head because last time I was up in the Highlands, funnily enough, we found a goat's head.
Hmm.
Didn't get it back in the backpack. But yeah, I just thought you might have one. Have you got goat's head tattoos? Have you got any
I
tattoos?
I don't have any tattoos. No, the closest I've got is I've got a whole bunch of goat masks and stuff everywhere. Which yeah is used for like photo shoots
Yeah, man.
uh or whatever. I've got like sometimes the fans come up to the merch and they grab one of the masks and they run on stage dive, stuff like that. But it's always fun, explaining to people that come round like why there's like a goat mask just hanging there, like just sitting there staring at you. Um, yeah.
Yeah, I've had the conversation myself with my sheep, Basil. Yeah, lots of times, man, lots of times. All right. So, so what would you say then has been your highlight so far with Hellripper?
Uh, I mean, everything. Again, going back to the beginning, there was no plans to do anything. So everything after recording the first EP was like, like something I never thought I would do, a next step, something that was crazy. So, putting out our first album was amazing. Um, you know, um, I never thought I would do a full length album, so that was great. We never thought we'd play live, and we've played live kind of all over the world.
Hmm.
Which we went to Mexico last year, which was, that was crazy, one of the best shows, one of the coolest weekends. Yeah, that was ridiculous. That was so cool. Doing stuff like Bloodstock or Vakin or Brutal Assault, like these festivals, that I've grown up watching like bands on YouTube playing Vakin or Bloodstock, Brutal Assault, Obscene Extreme and stuff, and just to like play these things is just so cool. Signing to Peaceful Records was cool. Having an album like I know it's not an important like metric or anything nowadays. It means less than it used to, but like being in like album charts, like official charts or something. It's something weird uh, to look at, just to see. And yeah, playing with a bunch of our favorite bands or my favorite bands, um, yeah, it's tough to pick out a highlight. The last 10 years have been amazing. I mean, I've got like no complaints. It's just like I say, everything that's happened has been way, way more than I expected, way more than I wanted, way more than I thought. So it's just yeah, it's just crazy. It's just crazy. The whole thing is a highlight, man. I enjoy writing music. It's my favorite thing to do. So the fact that I get to do this and people like it and I can do stuff off the back of it is wild.
Absolutely. Yeah, Mexico, that's one place I really want to visit. I bet that was amazing.
My favorite three albums, I mean, they change all the time. I mean, my favorite one of all time would be By the Way by the Chili Peppers,
Mhm.
because that was one of the first albums, or I think it was maybe the first album that I really got into back when it first came out, when I was like kind of getting into music. And they became my favorite band. That kind of got me into music, and then I explored like rock and um, stuff like that, got further into rock and metal, punk, whatever. Um, Another one would be Climax by Beast Milk. Um, I heard that there was like a stream on like the NME's website when it first came out, like 2013 or whatever it was. I can't remember. And the songwriting on it is just genius. I think it's a modern classic. It's it's like a near perfect album to me. Just catchy songs. unique atmosphere, unique sound. Um, yeah, just dark, post-punk, goth, touch of metal kind of influence. Yeah, amazing album. And then one that I would say over the past year, it was one of my top listened to albums of last year is Core by Stone Temple Pilots. Um, we were on tour at the time, and I was just in the back of a van, just kind of going through music to listen to on our long drives. And yeah, I was like, yeah, I'll stick on some Stone Temple Pilots. Haven't listened to this in a while or whatever. And I was like, wow, it just resonated with me even more for some reason, even though I knew the album previously and I liked the album. But over that tour, I just listened to it non-stop. And over the past year, I've listened to it non-stop. And yeah, again, just good songs. Favorite three vocalists. Okay. So for like a death metal growl, it's Michael Ackerfeld from Opeth. I just think his the growls, death growls that he does are just sound great. They sound like three people at once, they're just evil.
Yeah.
Um, who else? You see, I like a lot of these kind of rock or pop or indie kind of singers with like a kind of rough voice. I mean, I love Kelly Jones from Stereophonics. He's one of my favorites. I love Paolo Nutini. I just love his voice. And Phil Campbell, who is in the temperance movement, not to be confused with the
Okay.
Motorhead guitarist. But Phil Campbell, who does solo stuff, and he's in the temperance movement, like kind of
Yeah.
blues rock kind of stuff. He's killer. All these kind of rough, gravelly voices. Oh, so definitely, yeah, phones/earphones to listen to stuff or to, pass the time. Um, what else do I take with me? It's funny, I don't really, I'm usually, when the previous tours we've done, I've kind of, I'm usually kind of in charge of a lot of like our side of the organization. So I never really have downtime to to kind of do stuff. So I'm usually just kind of on it all the time, like trying to like I'm at the merch stand or I'm organizing hotels sometimes. I'm the routing, the advancing shows and stuff. So um yeah, I mean that's all I really do if I'm on tour, I'm just kind of listening to music or
Yeah.
podcasts or kind of dealing with emails and stuff. So yeah, laptop, phone, to play some kind of game, I guess, like while you're a bit bored or something. Yeah, that's only two things, but yeah, I can't really.
That's cool. Okay. What about three countries that you've yet to tour that you're dying to
So
see?
yeah, so I'd love to go to. I mean, we're going to America next week, but I'd love to, visit more of America, kind of do the whole thing. So I mean, we're only doing one show. We've got a whole bunch of people for the past few years have been asking about American tours and stuff. So I'm looking forward to that. Um, I'd love to do something. I mean, I'm happy with anywhere that will have us, really.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, I'd love to go to Japan, would be would be killer. I'd love to go to Australia again, would be killer. And then yeah, I'd like to do like Brazil and all that kind of stuff, like South America. It's basically just a longer way of saying yeah, anywhere.
Yeah. Cool.
Anywhere where there's people willing to listen to us and willing to give us a chance and that likes our music. I'm
Which musician would you have in your car for a 24-hour road trip?
Oh, it's got to be Paul McCartney. The stories
Yeah.
he could tell. I
Yeah.
reckon the stories he would have, or something, or you could have someone like Zach Wilde who would have all the Aussie stories, or um, yeah, someone like that who would just have endless amounts of um rock and roll stories or whatever.
Cool. If there was like a made up song about your personality, what would it be called?
Oh, I mean, Hellripper is practically just me. I mean,
Cool.
other than that, I'm very boring. Uh, yeah, I was just. I mean, yeah. I mean, is there a song? Can you call a song just sitting down doing nothing, being boring or
Chill
whatever?
dude. Chill dude.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
All right. All right. Would you like to be able to stop time or rewind time?
Um. Oh yeah, it's quite a. I mean, depends if there's stuff I could do. You know, it'd be ideal to rewind time if you could change stuff and if you had the power to change stuff and you knew how to change stuff. Um,
That'd be amazing.
yeah, yeah. So if you could rewind time, and I mean, I guess it would depend on the kind of terms of each, you know, like if you can, depending on what you can do with each. But yeah, I think rewind time would be interesting.
Okay. So, are you a death metal fan or a progressive metal fan?
Definitely death metal for me. Uh, Death metal is one of my favorite styles.
Cool. Are you a night owl or a day person?
Definitely night. Definitely night. Most of my inspiration, most of my uh, ideas, and I get more motivated and stuff like after like 8 p.m.
Mm.
If it was up to me and like I lived on my own and stuff, and I'd be up, you know, just till 3, 4 a.m. recording and stuff. But it's not ideal when you want to live like a normal life and go about a day to day
I know. Yeah.
thing.
I do know what you're saying. I mean, I worked nights for 21 years, and yeah,
Mm,
when
yeah,
you come off it and then you go back to days, it's yeah, I prefer to be on nights, definitely. Anyway,
yeah.
as the final one, then, so as you're Scottish, do you prefer haggis or fried Mars bars?
Fried Mars bars, definitely. Uh,
Yeah,
I haven't had one in years,
right.
but I could have like five in one go, I reckon. This is James from Hellripper. You should be watching Seb 666. It will rock your world. All hail the go.
666.
Do you have any final words there for your fans, our viewers, and listeners?
Uh, Not really. Thank you very much for watching, for listening, for being interested in the band, for hopefully checking out the band if you're unfamiliar. You can check us out on Spotify, social media, Bandcamp, Instagram, Facebook, whatever. Check out our website. You can see our live shows, our upcoming live shows, and yeah, hopefully we'll see you.
The black dots are